It's been amazing coming back and getting the gang back together. After making two films over a period of 7 years, we just really have become a family. And making a Star Trek picture is like making no other picture. We have so much fun, and I feel pretty blessed to just be able to work with such a wonderful and talented group of people. Yeah, I'm really loving working with Justin. He's a very collaborative director. He was a huge fan of Star Trek growing up, and so he gets Star Trek. He gets the world. He understands the archetypes and how they interact with each other, and really excited about his vision and what he is bringing to the table. He's one of those directors who knows what he wants and is able to infuse each sequence and each scene with a real energy and a dynamism, and I can't wait for the audience to see this film. Working with Simon as in the capacity that he has on this film as a writer has been a real blessing and a treat for all of us, because we have this accessibility that we have no qualms about going to him, and he is by nature very collaborative, and he gets the characters, and it's just been wonderful to be able to utilize his talent and his ability and make the film better. And he's a great writer, and I can't wait for the audience to see what he's put on the page. What they have written is so cool in the regard that it's an ensemble piece. And I think that's one of the things that the audience is going to really dig about this film, is that you get to spend great quality time with these groups of characters as the Enterprise crew is fractured and falls apart. And through the course of that, you get some real wonderful character development. And particularly in my case, it's a huge benefit for me. I really felt that in the last film that, for example, that Bones's friendship with Kirk was quite inferred. In this film, you actually get to see the value and measure of that friendship. You get to see the relationship with Spock developed to a point where you've never seen before in a Star Trek film. So I think long-term audience members are in for a real treat, and even fans who have just come in the last couple of films are going to really love it. Star Trek Beyond, 90% of material that I have is with Zach, and the scenes between Spock and Bones are, in my opinion, really quite at the heart of the picture. And we deal with internal dilemmas for both characters. I remember watching the original series when I was a boy, and the character of Spock was huge. He was such because of his uniqueness, his stoicism and his integrity, he was a character that you just couldn't help but gravitate towards. And for me, I guess one of the immense treasures of being able to work on Star Trek was getting to meet and work with Leonard Nimoy. And he was, I found him to be just a really wonderful, smart, funny, warm-hearted guy. And he was generous with his time and energy. His contribution to Star Trek is phenomenal. For me, I really felt that he always brought great depth and resonance to not only to his role, but to the franchise as a whole. I think Star Trek is hugely important because it represents a vision of humanity that aspires to be as good as it can possibly be. It's a vision of humanity that is done with warring, with global environmental destruction. There's a unity in mankind. Mankind's come together and we're out there and we're exploring space and working together, different cultures and races, all working towards one common goal. And it's a vision that was created by Roddenberry, back in the 60s, and it's even more relevant today than it was then, in my opinion. And I think that's why it resonates with an audience. We all want a better place. Dubai's been amazing. I've been here for 2 weeks now, and I've done all sorts of crazy stuff. I've been scuba diving in a mall, skiing in a mall. We went dune buggying. Water parks, swimming in the sea. Went down to Abu Dhabi and visited the Grand Mosque down there, which was an amazing eye-opener. And the people of Dubai have been, really welcoming, and it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I certainly hope that I have the opportunity to come back and work here again. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'd like to explore. To me, I think, Star Trek was always about character over science fiction for me. I tuned in every week to see how these characters that didn't always get along with each other had to work together in order to overcome the common, adversary. And this film does that in spades. And, for me, there's a lot of fresh territory in this film. For the character of McCoy to be thrust into an action role is immensely exciting to play. And the audience hasn't really seen that before. Certainly not since the original series. And there's a lot of character-driven beats in the film that are going to be funny, going to be poignant, going to be sad. And ultimately, I think that's what's going to draw an audience in. You enjoy spending time with these characters, and any good Star Trek film, that's the heart. It's the characters. The wonderful thing in this film is that, these two characters of Spock and McCoy, who really are on sort of opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of perspective and outlook, are thrown together and are forced to work together in order to survive. And through the course of that, they come to understand each other on a deeper level. I think that's it's been so rewarding for me, not only as an actor, but as a friend of Zach's, to have all that time together and to be able to deepen those relationships, not only for the characters, but our own personal relationship. It's been immensely rewarding, and I think it's going to be rewarding for an audience. To see these two guys that are like chalk and cheese thrown into the deep end and forced to work together to survive, to overcome their differences, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, did you like that video? Well, I've got some movie trivia for you. Did you know that, like Facebook, Star Wars was originally prefixed by the definite article the? Much cleaner without it, don't you think? For this and more movie facts, click on more videos, or for more trailers, click on the playlist.